felt it was slightly impressionistic, this one, and because if walking out along the beach every day, I see these extraordinary shapes where the shingle is coming up. So I'm seeing the shape of the sea.
Yes.
So here are 4 different shapes. And I just asked Anna to interpret this third one down, or that was the one that she chose. And we had this shruti box, this time at the top of the horizon line, which was in it was in the key of D. And then Anna came in, I think, with the viola.
Yeah.
And I played the piano. And also there was some background sounds in it, which so I've been working in ceramics for about the past 7 years, creating these little pots, bigger ones as well. They make beautiful sounds. So I struck a number of these pots and recorded them.
Okay.
So when you listen to this piece, you can hear those.
Yeah. I listened to that actually through it was really. It was interesting. Something else about the way that you and Anna worked together today and performed together is that Anna's also looking at the sea. You're obviously looking at the same because she lives around the corner from you, and her house also looks. And she said she's got that sight line, and so she's able to see in your work. So for me, if I knew nothing about the music, I would have been faintly obsessed with how the pigment had pooled in different areas.
Yes.
I would just find that really satisfying to look at. But having heard the piece, I feel that I can see how she would have seen every little difference in pooling and pressure as sort of located somewhere else, and she's travelling with it. And that's, again, I think we mentioned this at the end, that as a visual artist, what's been so interesting about all these works that you performed today and the kind of way you talk about your work is that this traditional method we have of thinking, so what you were my teacher, right? That's how we met. We met at the Royal Drawing School, and obviously there I was showing you my pictures and we were talking about, oh, well, that's interesting, why do you choose that composition? And all the language was bringing us always back to the visual. And yet now, and this is something I did with Jorg, who's unfortunately couldn't be with us today because of the lockdown, but he, he's been very involved in putting together the day, and also I know that you and him had a great connection on the musical side, that he wrote me a piece the other day that he'd written to one of my paintings, and one of which is incomplete, and I really don't know how to finish it up. And I could have had all the visual instruction in the world, but having had this experience of kind of listening to you and watching you work with Anna, I'm very receptive to the idea that that is an instruction, what he wrote, and that it can be used to kind of explain to me where things can be dense, less dense, where the colours should be switched up or down, that there's some kind of natural affinity that we can, and I suppose, so from the philosophical point of view is you might say, well, where's the interest there? Surely that's just a process. It could be explained by the empirical sciences if there's some kind of mechanical connection. The reason I think it's interesting is that we're so compelled to do it, and that we feel that there's something that's really important about part of this process. And we've talked about this endlessly, that, there's lots of other things you can do with your time. And for someone that's never tried this kind of stuff, they might think, oh, as you said, that sounds a bit pretentious, why are you doing that? But if you actually take that away and open your mind and actually try some of these practices out, especially if you are creative or you're interested in that, you like that kind of creative, you'll realise that it just literally does open another way of understanding, of seeing and experiencing things.
Yes.
And it does have this sense, we don't know why, of great importance